Let me tell you about a birthday that should have been magical. One of those unforgettable childhood moments filled with sparkles, giggles, balloons, cake, and that giddy chest puffing. I'm finally loving energy. But instead of being a core memory wrapped in joy, it turned into an internet wide controversy that left millions debating, dissecting, and outright judging one mom's parenting choices. What should have been a private, cherished moment turned into a spectacle, and all because of what she did with the birthday candles. The mom at the center of this chaos, TikToker user Cicely Bauschman. She uploaded what on the surface seemed like an innocent birthday clip in her daughter's special day, but this wasn't your typical birthday vlog. Nope. What started as a sweet family moment snowballed into a heated internet discourse that touched on paternity ethics, childhood emotional development, family dynamics, and more. And yes, it all circled back to candles. Let's break it down. In the video, Cicely's daughter stands proudly in front of her birthday cake. She's wearing a sparkly tiara, smiling with a mix of nervous excitement and joy, the kind that only comes with being the center of attention for the day. The cake is topped with colorful candles shaped like the number 11. All eyes are on her. It's her moment. But then, just before she can blow out the candles, a younger sibling springs forward, clearly amped and ready to steal the show. The birthday girl, likely used to this kind of behavior, gently covers the child's mouth. It's almost instinctual, like she knows she has to protect what's hers. And let's be honest, every kid learns early on. Blowing out your own candles is sacred. That is your wish, your victory, your big second of fame. She finally blows them out. The room claps. She gets her hugs from her parents. All seems well. But then, the candles were relit. Here's where the storm began to brew, and for many, it was the exact second the energy shifted from sweet to slightly uncomfortable. Instead of celebrating the moment and moving on to the next tradition, cutting the cake, singing more songs, or opening presents, Cicely made a decision that completely changed the vibe. She walked over to the birthday cake, which had just been the centerpiece of her daughter's big moment, and carefully relit the candle. Now, if you're watching this and thinking, oh, maybe she wanted to take another picture or record a clearer video, that would have made perfect. Or maybe you're thinking she wanted her daughter to have another shot at it, maybe to relieve the joy, but no, that wasn't the reason. Cicely relit the candles for a different purpose entirely, so that each of her other children could take a turn blowing them out. Yes, one by one. She lifted her younger kids, some barely old enough to understand what the celebration was even about, held them over the cake, and gently coached them to blow out the candles that their sister had just extinguished during her once-a-year spotlight. She smiled and encouraged each of them, treating it like a perfectly normal and even thoughtful act. It was almost ceremonial, like everyone was supposed to get a turn at the one thing that's supposed to belong only to the birthday kid. Then came her older son, who did not need to be lifted. He simply walked over, leaned down, and blew out the candles with the same casual energy you'd expect from someone blowing out a candle at dinner just to get rid of the smell of smoke. In that moment, what had just been a personal, meaningful event transformed into a shared group activity. Something that should have been symbolic of her daughter's milestone now felt more like a game, a pass, the puzzle moment where everyone gets a piece of the glory. And for a lot of people watching, that was where this discomfort began, because birthday candles aren't just wax and fire. They represent a wish, a spotlight, a magical childhood second. And here, they were being passed around like party favors. It was this moment that flipped the narrative. What could have remained a simple birthday memory became a viral parenting debate about boundaries, entitlement, and what it means to let a child feel special. Cue the internet rage, fast, loud, and relentless. Within just a few hours of Cicely posting the video, the comment section turned into a virtual war zone. People aren't just commenting, they were dissecting. Viewers flooded in from all corners on TikTok, sharing their heartbreak, confusion, and sharp disapproval over what they saw. Many say they had to rewatch the clip just to believe it. What should have been a wholesome moment had suddenly become, in their eyes, parenting red flag. The emotional responses were swift and sincere. People zoomed in literally on their daughter's facial expressions, breaking down her every blink, every forced smile, every quick glance away from the camera. Some were convinced they saw sadness behind.
We've all seen the video of that 11-year-old whose mom lets the little siblings blow out her candles, and you can see this 11-year-old's smile diminish as each sibling gets to blow out her candles. Let's watch. Why is your first thought as the mom not, let me teach my children that their oldest sister gets to have their special day, and on your special day, you get to have your cake, your candles, your theme, your party, where you get to blow out your candles? You literally take away the special moment for your oldest daughter by doing this. And that little toddler dude kind of spat on the cupcakes when he blew out the candles, and when the older brother blew out the candles, one of the cupcakes broke. So now her birthday cake or birthday cupcakes are broken because the little siblings wanted to blow out her candles and the mom let them. All I'm gonna say is that your daughter's gonna remember this, and she's not gonna remember this birthday the way that you guys are gonna remember it. Be so for real.
Others said she looked like she was trying to act happy while clearly holding in disappointment. Frame by frame, the internet turned into detectives analyzing what should have been a simple family video. One mom even made a duet with the original TikTok, turning her own young son and asking, "Would you blow out someone else's birthday candle?" His innocent but firm answer, "No, it's not my birthday."
If you were at someone's birthday and they had a cake in front of them with candles, would you want to blow those candles out?
No.
Are you supposed to blow those candles out?
No.
Why?
No, because it's their birthday.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
The internet loved it. That tiny, honest response became a rallying cry, evidence that even children understand the value of personal space and celebration. Another creator stitched Cicily's video with zero hesitation and said, "This isn't sweet. This isn't about sharing. This is how you rob a child of a core memory." That was her moment. But the criticism did not stop at the birthday girl. It turned quickly towards Cicely herself, her parenting, her values, and what people believed she was modeling for her children. Viewers began accusing her of teaching entitlement, of raising children who believe they should always be included, even when the spotlight isn't theirs. The phrases repeated over and over in the comment sections, and they were harsh but telling. This is how you raise adults who can't handle being in the background, and you're raising kids who won't know how to clap when it's someone else's turn to win. Then came the psychological takes. People warned that Cicely was unintentionally teaching her daughter that she isn't allowed to have anything for herself, not even one birthday moment, that she's expected to always share even when it costs her joy. This child will grow up always questioning whether she's allowed to own her happiness. One commenter said, and when she does achieve something big, she might not even know how to celebrate it without guilt. In a particularly heartbreaking comment that went viral, one user wrote, "If you never get to feel special without strings attached, you eventually stop believing you deserve to be." Whether people were talking from personal experience or just reacting to what they saw, the message was loud and clear. Many believe this moment wasn't just a parenting mistake, it was a teachable moment gone wrong. A tiny decision with potentially lasting emotional consequences. This isn't really just about candles. It never was. The candles were just a trigger, a symbol, but the reaction, the uproar that came from something much deeper, something that touches a raw nerve. For so many people who grew up feeling invincible or constantly asked to dim their light. Backlash was rooted in a collective discomfort with how we teach children about ownership, individuality, recognition, and emotional boundaries. Especially in families with multiple children, there is a delicate balance between fairness and individuality. Childhood birthdays aren't just about cake, balloons, or gifts. They are powerful developmental markers, moments when a child learns what it feels like to be acknowledged. When children are constantly asked to share every single milestone, every gift, every achievement, even symbolic rituals like blowing out candles, they begin to internalize a message that says you're not allowed to be the main character. It is subtle, but it builds over time. One viewer expressed it perfectly. If your whole life feels like a group project, you never learn what it means to own a moment.
Imagine going to a birthday party and every single kid is asking when it's their turn to blow out the candles. It was her 11-year-old's birthday and she let all her siblings blow out the candle. And the main question I want to know is why? And if the answer is, oh, well, they wanted to do it too? No. Sharing is not always caring. I feel like this can create so many problems. And I want to say whatever works for you and your family. But I've seen kids who've grown up had to share everything become so selfish. Everything must be about them or include them. And if it doesn't, they throw the biggest tantrum or they just can't comprehend. Also, I feel like it creates a lot of microaggression. I had a friend who had to share everything growing up, that she would literally label things in the fridge with the line to where she drank it, and would take pictures of everything she ate or snacks or whatever, just so she could be sure that no one was touching her food, she wasn't sharing with anybody, because she was so tired of sharing her whole life. Now, I'm not gonna say this happens to everyone, but to say it's her special day and then let her siblings all take a turn blowing out the candles, just why? And I'm sure she'll come up with a video saying the child.
This wasn't just a TikTok drama. It cracked open a real psychological discussion about how kids develop a sense of identity. Some commenters, including child therapists and educators, explained how repeated experiences of having to share moments that were meant to be individual can lead to a phenomenon known as emotional hoarding. Children raised without clearly defined moments of recognition often grow up feeling like they have to protect their achievements from being diluted. They become hyper aware of fairness, overly defensive about what they've earned, or anxious when asked to celebrate others because they were never told that their time would come. Others warned that this pattern can breed a constant need for validation. Kids who don't get to be celebrated on their own terms might grow into adults who chase praise obsessively, not because they are egotistical, but because they never learn to feel seen. It becomes harder to know where their self-worth comes from when every milestone was filtered through a group lens. Now, sure, to some, all of this might sound like a stretch, a reach, like people are over analyzing a harmless parenting moment, and yes, in some cases, a shared candle blowing moment might mean nothing. But in a world that already rewards collectivism over individuality, where kids are encouraged to always be modest, quiet, and agreeable, sometimes these small moments like a birthday are the only space a child gets to truly shine. So, no, it wasn't just about candles. It was about the right to be the center of attention, the right to feel celebrated without compromise. And when people saw that being diluted, they did not just see a mom trying to make a sweet family moment. They saw a lifetime of almost moments reflected back at them, moments they never got to fully claim. And that is why the conversation hit so hard. But hold up. Is this really so bad? Now, let's play devil's advocate for a second. Not everyone thought Cicely did something wrong. A sizable chunk of TikTok users, many of them parents themselves, had a softer take. They pointed out that the birthday girl did get her turn. She got to blow out the candles first. She got her hags, she got her tiara. Her siblings did not swoop in until after her moment was done. In fact, some said Cicely's decision actually showed a surprising level of thoughtfulness, that instead of acting carelessly or neglecting her daughter's moment, she might have been doing what countless parents do every day, trying to manage multiple kids, keeping emotions steady, and preventing complete chaos. Let's be real. Toddlers' meltdowns can derail an entire event. They're loud, messy, and can turn a beautiful celebration into an emotional minefield. A relit candle is a small price to pay for keeping the peace. If relighting a candle is what it takes to stop a 30-minute tantrum, soothe the jealous sibling, and keep the birthday girl from having her day overshadowed by crying and fighting, some people urged it's a win. They viewed Cicely's choice not as an act of selfishness or insensitivity, but as a smart parenting workaround, one that still gave the birthday girl her spotlight, while ensuring that the rest of the family did not feel pushed aside. Several parents chimed in, validating Cicely's decision and explaining that they do the exact same thing in their own households. One mom said, "We always let the birthday kid go first. They blow the candles, they get all the cheers and hugs, they open the presents, but after that, we let the younger siblings blow up the relit candles too. It is our little way of keeping everyone involved without taking away the one who is being celebrated." Another parent shared, "You don't always have the luxury of ideal scenarios with kids. Sometimes you do what keeps the good energy going. Kids are sensitive, they notice everything. So we just make sure the birthday child knows it is still their day, but let the little ones feel like they're part of it too." Many commenters agreed that Cicely wasn't trying to dim how daughters lied, and that she was trying to spread the glow around without snuffing it out for everyone. And in a house with multiple siblings, then that's not always an easy task. This brings up a bigger point. What if this wasn't a one-time thing? What if this wasn't just an improvisational parenting move in the heat of the moment, but something Cicely's family has done for years, a shared tradition meant to include everyone while still keeping the birthday child front and center? There's a real chance that in the Bushman household, this is simply their norm. Maybe this is how they've always done birthdays, a moment for the birthday child to lead the way, blow the candles first, get the hugs, the cheers, the spotlight, and then the rest of the family gets a symbolic turn. Maybe it is their way of reinforcing family unity while still allowing the honored child to feel special special. In some homes, this kind of inclusive tradition becomes part of their fun, part of what makes birthdays feel communal and festive. If that's the case, maybe that is why the birthday girl did not seem upset. Maybe she did not flinch or pull back or protest because to her, this is familiar. This is comforting. It is accepted, and most importantly, it doesn't feel like a theft. It feels like love, shared love. We also need to think about what else happened during the day. Beyond the 15-second clip that went viral, did she wake up to her favorite breakfast, balloons floating in the kitchen? Did her siblings draw her cards or help hang decorations? Did she get to choose the cake flavor, request a playlist, or wear her favorite dress? Were the decorations speak just for her favorite colors lining the walls, her name spelled out in glitter letters? Did she get to unwrap presents surrounded by people cheering her on, pick up what to eat for dinner, and get tucked into bed feeling like the entire day has been crafted for her? Because if the answer to even half of this is yes, then maybe the candle moment was just one small part of a long, joy-filled day. Maybe in the bigger picture, her emotional needs were met. Maybe she walked away feeling loved, celebrated, and seen, just in a different way than what the internet is expect. On either side of the candles, I want to hear your story. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the internet's wildest debates, viral parenting moments, and everything in between. Because sometimes it is the little things like blowing out candles that ignite the biggest conversation. Catch you in the next one.